Welcome to Drag Race at the White House. What a celebration of liberation.
250 years of progress.
Let's get this show on the road with our first queen making the runway.
Give us that 250 years of fabulous. Strut your stuff.
Yes, queen, those hips don't lie.
Fabulous, a true icon.
Periods are powerful, honey. Strutting into history.
Free Palestine!
Free.
Work that stage!
We hear you. Keep pushing.
Thank you, we stand united!
Hey.
That Palestine skirt is everything.
We love the representation.
Tremendous freedom of expression. Welcome to the White House, queens. Thank you, darlings. Fabulous. Judges, what do you think? Absolutely stunning. Just incredible.
Wow. Very disturbing, isn't it? Very disturbing, I must say. I must say it's very, very, very disturbing. Got Bella over here doing rounds and stuff. It's crazy. All this stuff happening. She doesn't know where she's going. I want to thank everybody who's here. Everybody who came over from Rob, thank you so much for coming over. It's greatly appreciated. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you've never been here before. It really helps. If you hit the like button, it shares this show out to other people. It helps bring more people to the show, and it's greatly appreciated. All right, so we're going to get into the news story. But before we get into the news story, just got to tell everybody the way it works here. If you have never been here before, the show is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, unless we hit the goal. And the goal is $100 across all platforms: YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships, or becoming members on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, or Kick, along with Locals Coins and Cash App, PayPal, or Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up. Bella, what are you doing? We add it all up. And when we hit $100, we add an extra hour. For each additional 100, we add an additional $100, an additional hour to the show. And then when we hit $50, we activate Bellavision for the evening, unless someone is so generous they donate $25 or greater for an individual person. Then we automatically add Bellavision for the evening. They look fabulous. Yes, they did. Kofi, thanks for being here. Mama Pillow's here. CF Rob, I Rule, great to see you. Sylvia, great to see you. Just Rhonda's here. La Raza for Trump. Amber Riley, grace and peace through strength. Yes. And Narrow Ways here too. Joe's here. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. The Destroyer, what's up, man? How the Democrats would celebrate if Kamala Harris was president? Yes, that's how they would be. That's what it would look like for the 250th anniversary if Kamala was president. I mean, I hope everybody's aware of that. Hey, long time no see, Jarvis. How you doing? Great to see you, JJ Jarvis. Happy Florida girls here too. Awesome. HJ Remy's here. Great to see you. Jay Schwartz is here. Good to see you. Dan's here. What's up? Delay is obvious is here. So is none of your business. Yeah, so everybody's here. We can get started. Bella is breakdancing. Bella's scratching her butt. That butt's itches. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing over there. Yeah, Bella. She's doing it. And that's a new style of booty scoot. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Deworming time. Gavoya Raid. Yeah, thank you. She shouldn't have worms. She takes a pill every month for worms and all that stuff, and she's been checked and everything. I think it could be her, what's it called? The glands might be bothering her, so I might have to take her in to get her glands checked or whatever. What's up? Thanks for being here, American Dreamer. Yeah. So let's get into the first news story of the evening. What do we say? Do this. All right. I forgot to do that. You have a cousin with a dog named Bella too? That's awesome. I love dogs named Bella, especially my own, but other dogs are good too. But anyway, so we're going to get into the first news story, but shit, I forgot. I'll do it while the thing is programmed. I'll set up the goal on YouTube while the thing is running here. So it's official. All right. 2 California men arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder. A teenager faces charges in Ohio after they plotted a massive terror attack against the White House. Gary Geets, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Trump Epstein hoax pushed by the Democrats is the motivation. Yeah, they said they want to start a revolution. This is crazy.
We're thankful that this did not turn into an actual plot. Those 2 men, as you mentioned, who were arrested in California and are being charged with conspiracy to commit murder, they appeared in federal court in California yesterday. A teenager is facing charges in Ohio. John, around 4,300 people were in attendance for UFC 250, including 1,200 service members. Investigators tell Fox the alleged plan was to use an explosive-laden drones to hit buildings near the event, which could force a mass evacuation and steer crowds towards a pre-staged sniper team. A, quote, second wave was allegedly planning to storm the White House. One suspect allegedly told investigators the goal was to target, quote, capitalist elites or billionaires, politicians who receive donations from the American-Israeli Public Affairs Committee, known as AIPAC. Now, in Ohio, a 19-year-old named Tyson Proper, according to multiple sources, was taken.
You have no sound at all?
He allegedly spent $3,000.
I hear it. You guys don't hear it?
Evacuation money to purchase ammunition, guns, and magazines for the alleged attack in California. 2 men, Brian Roa and Michael Allen Thomas, were arrested and, as I mentioned, appeared in court yesterday. Authorities have 23 people on the list as part of a potential network of alleged plotters. And there is more. Investigators uncovered encrypted chats on cell phones where people allegedly discussed attacking the UFC event. And one of the people in the chat identified some 23 users discussing what's called pre-operational activity. And some, John, allegedly planned to travel to Fredericksburg, Virginia, just south of Washington, D.C., a day or 2 before the fight to prepare for the alleged attack. As we go on throughout the day, more of these court documents are going to be unsealed.
More of the court documents are going to be unsealed? Yes. All right. More breaking news. The FBI says they thwarted this drone. We're going to see
this breaking news just into the Fox newsroom. The FBI disrupting this alleged plot, targeting the UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House. Officials telling Fox a network of nearly 24 potential plotters were identified, with at least 5 people in custody right now. The suspects allegedly traveled to Fredericksburg, Virginia, to make final preparations for.
Oh no, I don't. My hair is nowhere near as stylish and nice as Robert's. I mean, I'm thinning in the front here. I'm thinning. I'm trying the Rogaine to see if that'll work, but I don't know. The minoxidil. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll have to see. You hear it, but it's quiet on YouTube. I don't know what the. I don't know. I have it cranked up, so I'm sorry. Odd that the media is making sure everyone has the plan so they can pick up where the loser fell. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, the Fox guy. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Oh, okay. I get no respect.
The attack and the alleged plan allegedly included explosive-packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation, and then steering crowds, get this, toward a pre-staged sniper team.
Yep,
a second wave was then.
That's what they're saying. They're saying 24 people involved. So this sounds like Discords probably were involved. Some Snapchats, probably WhatsApp, Signal.
planned to storm the White House gate. The FBI first learned of the threat on June 10th and worked with law enforcement across multiple states to stop it. FBI Director Kash Patel saying, quote, "We are built to detect, respond to, and bring to justice those who threaten the lives of Americans."
Yeah, the FBI is doing their jobs. You know how they did their job? The guy's mom turned him in. The guy's mom turned him in. His family turned him in. Antifa is definitely behind us. Oh, yeah, definitely. Antifa was behind us. Yes. Yes. Well, we're going to talk about after this story. We got another one where there was like 14 or 15 Antifa people indicted in Minnesota. Rogaine works, but you have to have it on your head 24 hours a day, oily head all day and night. Not realistic. Yeah, that's right. A bunch of slackers. Come on. We got to hit that like button, people. Really. I'm the guy who gets no respect. Hey, that's my line. I get no respect. No respect at all. Yeah. You know, say no respect. Oh, no respect at all. Maybe state actors could be. It's possible. We're going to have to wait and see. Yes, definitely. 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 Please hit the like button, man. It really helps. So it says we got a rant here. Let me suck. We got a rant. We got a rant over here from Joe. It says, do this 50 times. Yes, do this 50 times right there. That means, folks, we are now just $98 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and just $48 away from activating Bellavision. Thank you so much, Joe.
Citizens, particularly during large gatherings like the historic UFC 250 fight. That's exactly what we did here. Over 4,300 people were in attendance for UFC 250, which included 1,200 service members. Luckily, nobody was harmed during the FBI's takedown. The event went off without a hitch.
Oh, Linda says, hi, Jim, new to your show. Do you have a standard time or pop on now and then? B-Hops told me about your page last night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I go at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I might start doing Thursdays at 7 p.m. and just get rid of, I was doing this other show. I might stop doing this Thursday thing and just do my show Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. And then Saturdays and Sundays, they're usually later. Like it'll be like anywhere from 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night on Saturdays and Sundays, depending on when I can get them done. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. But yes, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Jarvis says, real men don't need hair. Us grown-up women find better things to play with than man's hair. Okay. Are you offering? Lurch Linger, look up light therapy for hair growth. Oh, okay. I'm liking it prematurely based on personal experience. Never been disappointed. Well, thank you. CF Rob with $2 says, dialing towards 1 hour and Bellavision. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. That means right now we are just $96 away from a first additional hour and $46 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. And then we got this. Says FBI busted explosive drone terror plot.
Explosive packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation and steering crowds towards a pre-staged sniper team. A second wave was then planned to storm the White House gate. The FBI first learned of the threat last Wednesday and worked with law enforcement across multiple states to stop it. Joining us now on the phone, former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino. Dan, thank you for getting on the air with us. What else can you tell us? This is quite a frightening and sobering discovery.
Well, notice the class warfare language amongst the plotters there that appears in this early stage to
an explosive packed
wow.
drone.
Wow. Let's see. There we go. So unsealed reports indicate a 19-year-old Tyson Proper, which that's a weird. What's with all these names lately? All right. We had that Renee Good, and then we had Alex Pretty, and now we got this Tyson Proper. Like what? What is it, Bella? You don't like me talking like that? I think Bella's getting upset that I'm getting all animated. She doesn't like it when I get animated. She doesn't like it. She's like, she's in her bed. She's like telling me to be quiet so that she can get some rest. Look at her over here. She's like, I'm in my bed, Dad. I don't want you getting loud. But yeah, check it out. I mean, we got all these people, these weird names, you know. My God, that would have been a disaster. You ain't kidding. It would have been crazy. It would have been really, really bad. The ironic last names for these leftists who don't live up to their names. It's right? Isn't it crazy? She wants to be on camera. She's a ham. Well, there she is. She's on camera. Let's see if that settles her down. I'll take her off and see if she keeps quiet. Yeah. Awesome. I'm a commie from Washington State, Pacific time, so I can adjust my chore time to catch up on more of your shows. Well, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Much testosterone creates hair loss. Is that what it is? I don't know. I thought it was for some reason I thought that was backwards. Yes, please hit the like button on the stream and Rumble and on YouTube because it really does help with the algorithm. I hate to be. Hey, Christine's here. What's up, Christine? Thanks for being here tonight. Always awesome. I know it's going to be a great show when Christine's here. Oh, Dad said you can't bark. Bella said you can't bark, only I can. None of your business says, I believe everything he does except for the eating babies part. Okay. Good to know. According to reports, Proper believed the U.S. government is controlled by an elite group of individuals who sacrifice and consume infants. So that's the part you don't believe. They were deeply involved in Epstein and are now being protected by Trump. Here is Proper at age 14 bragging about how he's a computer whiz and talking about him taking a break from TikTok because he believes someone was spying on him. Like, this guy does not look 19 years old. This guy looks like he has severe male pattern baldness at 19. That is insane. That's just insane. But let's hear what he sounded like at 15, he said, or 14. Like, he's got the physiognomy of this guy is very interesting.
I am, many of you are not going to believe this, but I'm a professional type person. I'm a geek guy. I'm very good with computers. All right, hello. Again, in the video. All right, so the reason why I left TikTok is because of, since people say China's spying on us, I don't think that, and I do think it. I believe it and don't believe it. Okay,
so yeah, that's him at 19, and we do have on the Cash App. We did have $10 from Christine. Thank you, Christine Dorr, for the $10 on the Cash App. That means right now, folks, we are just $86 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and $36 away from Bellavision. So thank you for the generous donations. It's always nice when we start out early. One of these had. Based solely on this article and the video clip, my guess we're dealing with a loosely organized group of basements fucktards. They should have stuck with Dungeons and Dragons. I would agree. The FBI arrested an Ohio man, Tyson Proper, for plotting a terrorist attack targeting America's 250 UFC event. Investigators say he planned to use explosive-laden drones against nearby buildings. Multiple additional suspects have been arrested in connection with the plot. This guy does not look 19, though. Before threatening anyone, your balls should drop first. I think it's a law. My cousin lost everything on top of his head at 18. He wore a cap and let the sides grow long to hide his bald head. I bet you this guy was able to buy booze for all his friends. Paid to shop, TM incoming. Well, that's awesome. He looks way older, yeah. You never know with these things. They find some foolish people to wind up. Maybe call it a drill. Maybe call it a drill. Other serious people could choose to go live. Scary, you don't know. Homie rolled a 1. Yeah, you ain't kidding. This guy isn't playing with a full deck, looking like another FBI setup of gullible, mentally deficient people. Maybe, no baby. Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, I see it. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get it now. Maybe call it a drill. Yeah. Loser's going to lose. Maybe he was targeted by TikTok for brainwashing. These dudes were raised underground. It's possible, Carano. The nose tells he has fetal alcohol syndrome. It's either that or he has some eggplant in his system. Maybe he's Sicilian. He appears to be popularly autistic, and from what his mom says, he must have some mental health issues. I had that backwards, missed the context, my bad. No problem. Good on mom. Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Good on mom. Here's the probable cause statement. It says on June 10th, 2026 at 9:18 p.m., officers with the Knox County Sheriff's Office and Danville Police Department dispatched to an address in Knox County in reference to a disturbance. The caller, identified as Proper's mother, was concerned about her son, identified as Proper. Well, I love eggplant too. I really love fried eggplant. Oof. Oof. Eggplant Parmesan. Oof. Too many vaccines? I don't know. Maybe one too many. It's possible one too many vaccines. That could be the case. I mean, you never can tell. Yes, let's work towards Bellavision was Christine's comment on the Cash App. Sorry, I didn't see that until now. Alrighty. Has anyone ever told you that you sound like Bruce Campbell? I would take that as a compliment because he's one of my favorite actors and I love his voice. I think you sound just like him. Well, thank you very much. Officers arrived on scene at 9:38, spoke to Proper and his mother and father. So his mother and father both live there in the house, I think. Proper, who's a 19-year-old male, lives at the residence with his parents. Proper's father stated he had recently met random people online and had been planning recons with these individuals. His father said Proper has been planning to leave this upcoming weekend to meet up with these online individuals. His father further stated that Proper has also recently acquired camping gear, food, ballistic plates, a new shotgun, a rifle, lots of ammunition, extra magazines, and plate carriers. A lot of these things, eggplant pizza or Parmesan is good. When people say lots of ammunition, that always makes me go like, what? Like one man's lots of ammunition is another man's trip to the range. You know, just saying. He just graduated from high school, straight to life in prison. So I wonder if he was shaving his head because he was going bald, so he started to shave it instead. But man, he's got a full ass neck beard there. Wow. Wowzers. Details via federal arrest affidavit reveal that a California man named Michael Allen Thomas was one of the organizers of the UFC terror plot. His parents were brave living in the same house with him. Everything Parmesan is delicious. Yes, it is. Happy Tuesday, Neuro. Thanks, everybody. Having Rumble and YouTube on simultaneously is messing with my PC. Taking Rumble down, sorry. Well, Joe, if you want to just participate in the chat on Rumble, you can just hit pause on the Rumble. You don't have to let it play, and you can still have the chat. You know, that way you can have both chats up. You can actually pop out the chat too, and then not have that screen on, and just have the chat like on the screen next to you. Just saying. I feel for the parents. Yes, definitely. So feds say that he admitted that he believes the government is run by elites who sacrifice and eat children, or involved with Jeffrey Epstein, are protected by President Trump. He had to have lied about his age, probably got held back in school plenty of times, had a fake ID or something. Something weird. Investigators took screenshots of his signal chats in which details of the plot were discussed and maps of the UFC event were shown with suggestions on where snipers could be placed. Like, that's just crazy. Feds also recovered rifles and ammo. Sources tell colleagues that David Spunt, those in custody, are American citizens, and there is no foreign nexus believed to be at play. Oh, man. That's crazy. Maybe they dodged a bullet. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Oh, yes, and I just want to remind everybody, if you are into meat, if you like meat, you like protein, you like beef, you like just the taste of beef, and you like that protein, you can get yourself some high-quality biltong. It's very good for you. It's all natural. It's made in the USA. Ancient South African recipes. All right. Go to www.biltongusa.com and use promo code JIM, and you'll save 10%. Get those extra bags, the 8-ounce bags. They make excellent gifts. Buy some extra ones for your dad, your loved ones, your significant other. Everyone likes them. Kids like it. It's a good snack. And they also have carbonasa and drawers sausages that are really good. And they have snacks, cakes, and candies and stuff from all around the world. You can get those too. They're really, really good and really tasty. And I totally recommend it. I eat it all the time. www.biltongusa.com. Use promo code Jim. Tell them Jim sent you. Parmesan can smell like vomit, just like broccoli can when cooked. Well, if that works, yes. Agreed when they have a full story and gloss over exactly what he was carrying is a bit suspect, yes. Rumble was slowing YouTube down for some reason. Could just be Microsoft. Could be. You have your own bovines. Well, wow. Can I be your, can I come over for, you know, is that like, remember, do you remember the movie Twister? When when they were having the steak at I can't remember Aunt's house, or I can't remember what Aunt's house, and then they're like, oh, where do you get all this meat? And she's like, for my cows. And they're like, I don't see any cows. And you're like, see, that's where they came from. Looks like he won't be living in his parents' basement forever now. Hope he likes his new federal home. Damn good parenting decision. Better he face this trouble now than what could have been. Yes. In Hawaii, if you ask someone you like beef, prepare for a fight. Also, how's it, homies? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably somebody that would be a haole, right? That's what they call them in Hawaii. If someone's a haole, if they would ask somebody about beef, don't they eat a lot of pork jerky in Hawaii? I believe so. So, yeah, so here's the screenshots and stuff showing they took pictures and stuff of where the maps were, where they should go, discussing it. This was his gun. He had a bullpup. What kind of bullpup is that? I'm trying to figure that out. Is that like a Caltech or something? What is that? Huh. Plates and stuff. So Thomas admitted to planning the events. During the execution of warrants, agents interviewed Thomas. Agents were able to review screenshots of his phone. He expressed frustration that some members of the group seemed non-committal and used excuses as to why they could not take action, particularly with the planned attack on. Thomas said the aim of this was subsequent attacks was to create enough chaos to bring about the overthrow of the U.S. government. Thomas indicated he believes that the U.S. government is run by elite individuals. He blames them and Israel for the current war in Iran. Phone and weapons photos are from a separate defendant, a 19-year-old Ohio man named Tyson Proper, also arrested by FBI. According to complaint, Proper allegedly spent $3,000 of his graduation money to purchase lots of ammunition, guns, and extra magazines and other things for the alleged attack. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Graduation money. My cousins had bovines and named one, then served it for dinner. Oh, no. Fun fact, there is this type of candy you can clean your teeth that invented by a teenage girl who I think is a businesswoman now. Heard her spoke about it on public radio. Can't remember her name. Huh. I want a ranch in Hawaii, then we would not have hay. Bovines are cute. Had quit his job to meet up with people that met online to conduct missions and recons. Feds say Proper's mother made the initial call when she became concerned about his activities. Then the wider plot was uncovered. So none of this would have been uncovered without the mom. Man, that's a mom of the year, right? I mean, right? I mean, even if they would have failed with their plan, even if it would have went south, they could have still hurt a lot of people. Even if they wouldn't have shot anybody, just the fact of something exploding would have caused like massive people to be running out, trying to get out and panic and stuff. Yeah, thank you, Mom. We saw that already. It says, breaking, the organizer of the terror plot was aiming to overthrow Trump based on deep involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, his involvement was turning him into the FBI. Democrats keep parroting a lie, knowing it'll encourage crazies to kill Trump. It's evil. Per FBI, the organizer indicated he believes the government's running. We saw that already. Multiple suspects have been arrested so far. Tyson Proper in Ohio, Brian Omar Roa, and Michael Allen Thomas in California. They've been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if this is new or old.
Got a potential nightmare scenario stopped in its tracks. The FBI and its law enforcement partners Got a potential nightmare scenario stopped in its tracks. The FBI and its law enforcement partners disrupting an alleged plot targeting this past weekend's UFC Freedom 250 event. Officials say nearly 24 plotters were identified, with 5 people now in custody. The investigation stretching across at least a dozen FBI field offices. Chris Wecker, former FBI assistant director, with us now, and sir, good day to you. We're told that one person was picked up in Cincinnati. Don't have any identifications or any other locations. What do you make of this thus far?
Yeah, so we do know about 5 arrests. Allegedly, there are 23 or so plotters here. So we probably won't get more details because they're conducting operations as we speak involving those 20 plus other co-conspirators. So we'll see how, these 4 or 5 will have to have their first appearance within 48 hours, at which time the arrest warrant affidavit will have to be unsealed, and then we'll have some real details about how this got started. It was a lightning operation. The FBI apparently got information on June 10th, and between now and those 3 or 4, 5 days there, they did a multi-field office investigation across the country and identified the other plotters. We'll see how many of them were actually involved and how much real capability was there. There are a lot of issues that'll be accompanying this prosecution. Will all 23 be arrested? Conspiracies really punish the conspiracy and the agreement to commit the crime. So all 23 don't have to do anything. They need at least, or they have to be a part of the agreement, but they only need one overt act towards commission of the crime. So it's going to get interesting over the next couple of days. But the scariest part of this really is the drones. We just don't have an answer to drones in our domestic environment here.
Right.
And that type of attack is my greatest fear.
Yes, it's totally has me scared too. But I wonder what's going to happen. Like, is there actually going to be convictions? Like, is this going to be like Ohio? Probably okay. California. I mean, what if we get like Antifa weirdos on the jury and they say, they won't convict for this? Then what happens? Then where do we stand? It is pretty bad. Yes, it is. It's crazy. And then, like LaRaza says, Ukraine is said to have Colombians fighting for them. I assume some are cartel muscle. I hope they don't come home with new drone skills. Oh, they definitely will. They definitely will. Then we got images released of the massive terror plot using explosive drones. The 19-year-old's mother sounded the alarm.
Images. The first image I believe that we're going to show is a rifle that belonged to her son, according to authorities. The other is a screen grab, several screen grabs showing aerial images and maps of the Washington, D.C. area, and discussing where snipers possibly would be related to the White House. This is all evidence that is posted on an official court docket right now, an official government document. But I will say 19-year-old Tyson Proper's mother called police after she was concerned about his purchases and communications with people online. It then led them to conversations that he allegedly had with someone named Brian Roa and Michael Thomas in Southern California. They appeared yesterday before a federal judge. We're also told that there is a suspect in Nebraska and one in Missouri as well. So what we're being told here, Kaylee and everyone on the couch, is that this alleged plot consisted of a plan to have drones that were actually armed with some type of firepower go and attack buildings around the White House. And once people left, they were going to have snipers nearby attacking some of the people leaving. This was a serious plot. The FBI, the Secret Service investigating this right now. And as you heard, the deputy director of the Secret Service right there say that they believe there are more people out there. Right now, there are 5 people facing these charges. And it's incredible to go through these documents and see what happened. But it appears that it was this 19-year-old's mother in Ohio who really spilled the beans on this entire case by letting people know that she had some concerns about her son, Kaylee.
Thank goodness that mom did that. And that 19-year-old is the one I mentioned who was alleged to use his graduation money to purchase these weapons. Wow, David, thank you for this update.
Thanks.
It's crazy, right? Crazy. Democrat left has become the party of violent woke terrorists. Yeah, see, 2008, center left me. Oh, they're running this way. Ooh, now they're like, oh, you're all Nazi bigots. See that? That's what they're doing now. Woke progressive shooting at people. What the fuck? Yeah, see, that's what's happening. That is definitely what's happening. And just a mother in Ohio. What's up, Steve? How you doing? Great. Thanks for being here. So a mother in Ohio had called the authorities, blowing open this wide thing. Yeah, graduation money. Yeah, from high school graduation. He just graduated from high school, supposedly. 5 suspects in custody facing charges. Investigators identified 23 people as part of the network of plotters. Plan involved using explosives. So I think we already saw this. Yeah, this is the one with the images.
Cage, I believe,
Yeah.
a month.
So we already saw that. All right. So, all right. We saw that. So let's see what CBS has to say. Feds revealed details of the alleged plot to attack the White House UFC event with explosives and drones. I mean, just found the inventor of that candy. Her name is Alina Morse. She came up with the idea at just 7 years old. She's a genius. What's the candy that cleans your teeth? Because I thought gum, they say like chewing gum is actually supposed to clean your teeth. Like, I thought that's what they say.
Arrested at least 5 people they say were planning to attack Sunday's UFC fight at the White House. Now, charges are expected to be unsealed later today. The event drew more than 4,000 people on the lawn of the White House, with thousands more watching just outside the White House grounds. Let's bring in CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen. All right, Jake, so this is developing minute by minute here. What can you tell us?
Well, what we know, according to sources who have spoken with CBS News, is that 5 people are in custody so far, including one individual from Ohio, after FBI Director Kash Patel announced on Twitter or X this morning that partners became aware last week, right before this event on the White House grounds, that there was a potential threat. A source told CBS News that a family member went to law enforcement saying that if a family member of one of the people detained said that potentially someone planned something nefarious, and that after investigating, the FBI found a signal chat that many people were participating in planning this potential attack. 2 sources have told CBS News that the alleged plot would have used explosive-laden drones in addition to potential snipers to attack people who would flee the scene of any potential explosion, as they followed by a, quote, second wave attack, which would have potentially gone after actually attacking people on the White House grounds. Certainly more to come, and the Secret Service said in a statement earlier today that there will likely be court filings soon, and that more details will be involved there.
Yeah, because one thing that I think everybody is wondering, Jake, is who are these suspects? Do we have any details at all about who these potential alleged suspects are? And, you know, the FBI responds to threats all the time. Kudos to them. It's often the ones that we don't know about that they are thwarting on a consistent basis. What made this one stick out?
Well, we'll find out more with court filings on what specifically, Vlad, could have been that trigger moment. Was it a move for these 5 people to meet up in Washington, D.C.? Was it a plan to potentially develop or gain some kind of access to some kind of explosive device? But again, sources have told CBS News that this tip from a family member of one of the people who's been detained has tipped off this investigation. And again, we're not aware of this until this morning, but it shows the risk, as we've seen in Washington, D.C., as America and President Trump has been participating in events surrounding the 250th anniversary of the U.S. We obviously had the White House Correspondents' Dinner attack earlier this month, and an individual who opened fire on the security agents who were guarding White House grounds. Also, I think the security apparatus is something to keep tabs on, Vlad. And also, how serious was this plan? We've seen the Justice Department and FBI say that there were planned terror attacks often, but how much development have gone into this? It appears that at least some kind of plan had been made to develop different stages of the attack, and how detailed those all were will be released shortly.
People were buying guns and stuff.
Back.
All right, look.
People were buying guns and stuff, so I think that's kind of makes it serious. So they say they disrupted this plot, and they even had details to get snipers and stuff. I mean, if they had, he almost said Pacifically. Yes, he almost did. There's not much. Not much my child could ever. Not much could ever get me to turn in my own sons, but this would have definitely done it, no matter how devastatingly hard it would have been to do it. Yeah. I mean, I would have probably, the first thing I would have done as soon as I found out about it is I would have confiscated all my son's stuff and been like, yeah, you're not doing this. And I'd have been like, what? Took his phone. Like, the parents are probably paying the phone bill and stuff. Just shut the phone off, take the computer away, and tell them, and then make an anonymous call to the feds about the whole plan and tell them, I don't know, get the son maybe to be like, instead of force the son to become a informant or a paid, something to work with the feds to get the other people, maybe. I don't know. At this point, they should have outlawed liberals buying guns, but I know it won't happen. Hey, we need to start small. We need to just start with the ones that chop their things off, or try to put fake ones on them. So 5 people have been charged in the scheme: Tyson Proper, Daniel Eskridge of Missouri, Abram Hermosillo Alvarez of Nebraska, Brian Omar Roa, and Michael Allen Thomas of California. Each has been arrested and are detained pending additional proceedings. Affidavits filed across the 4 criminal cases detail the alleged plot to target the UFC event at the White House. So I guess the cases are filed. There's 4 cases only filed because there are 4 states, 4 jurisdictions. So each jurisdiction has a different case. So this is basically over this whole Epstein stuff, like all the stuff that people are saying about Epstein. Hey, what's up, everyone? So happy to see you guys. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Yes, please do. The White House hosted an event on Sunday, President Trump's 80th birthday, as part of the celebrations of the nation's 250th anniversary. Thousands turned out to watch the fights on the White House lawn, where President Trump sat in the front row. Potential targets also included President Trump, Vice President Vance, Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, Elon Musk. A number of elected officials were also named, including Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, and members of the West Virginia congressional delegation. Roald Dahl is a banned author. Defendants have each been charged with at least 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. Proper faces 3 additional charges, according to court filings. 2 law enforcement sources told CBS News that officials seized the weapons, thousands of rounds of ammunition, tactical gear, and other things from the suspects during execution of the search warrants. Hey, Roselle, what's up? Great to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. Use of the drones was believed to be in discussion and research phases. Federal investigators became aware of the plot based on a tip from Proper's mother, who was concerned about the recent behavior of her son. An affidavit submitted by the FBI agent in the case lays that out. The irony of bitching about AIPAC while having a U.S. flag motif on Israeli Tavor carbine. That is funny, isn't it, Gundam? That is quite funny. The case against Proper lays out the details. I think we've kind of gone through this. So Proper told investigators he began communicating with others via TikTok in a group called Vanguard of the Old. In March, members all said they wanted to protect the U.S. and believed the nation was headed in the wrong direction. I'd like to know how many feds were in this group. Were there any feds? I had no idea it was that serious. Seems like it was pretty serious. Communications among the group members continued on encrypted app Signal, where the FBI said they planned the attack for the UFC night. There was one large chat with 19 individuals dedicated to coordinating the attack, and smaller groups consisting of 4 or 5 users. The FBI said discussions centered on the UFC event at the White House by early June. Eskridge alleged that the group should obtain $1,300 to buy drones and charges. Well, he allegedly said that. Liberals want to ban guns, but they're the ones using them. Bunch of freaks. Yeah, it's crazy. The group was split up into tiers, ranging from tier 1 to tier 4. The tiers included those who were willing to put themselves in harm's way, members who could be getaway drivers or drone operators, supply and logistics operators, and funders and influencers. Oh, please, Lord. Please, Lord, let Hassan Piker or Destiny be one of the influencers. Please, Lord, I beg you. If you haven't hit the like button, you should do it now. It makes Jim do cool tricks. Yes, see me smile. Proper is such a proper boy for a nice prison cell. Yes, Soros could be nice. Hey, Margie, what's up? Thanks for being here tonight. Bella, be quiet. Stop it. Lay down. Yeah. Affidavit in the Alvarez case has Proper identified a user known as Shepard as the leader of the group. Proper described him as aggressive and tactical planning, and he believed to be the former member of the military. FBI included messages from Shepard, includes maps of DC, instructions for carrying out the attack. It traced back to TikTok, to a TikTok account to Alvarez, identified him as Shepard. Investigators say Alvarez devised the tier system. The group's plan to attack the UFC event involved the staging of a demonstration on the north side of the White House. The group would then fly drones laden with unspecified explosive devices, which would detonate over the north side of the UFC arena. How stupid can these people be knowing it's the most secure place on the planet? I don't know. I would think the airspace in DC was closely monitored after that guy flew in the White House grounds. Yeah, but if they're small drones, they could just launch them on their backpacks or something like that. It's got to get close. And then by the time, if there's enough people come in with, I don't know, you would maybe there's a way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I don't even want to think about it because then I'm like participating in the conspiracy. When the drones exploded, the group then planned to force the attendees and high-value targets to evacuate to the south. Proper told investigators that the plan was for members to act as snipers and additional shooters, shooting fight attendees and the high-value targets as they fled from the explosions. The affidavit said the high-value targets were wealthy people and politicians. So these are part of the Eat the Rich crowd. These are part of the Bernie Bros, the AOC people. Investigation into Proper began last Wednesday when his mother contacted local law enforcement because of concerns about how he was acting, including his firearms purchases and online communications. She said he had begun communicating with a group who expressed ultra-religious and anti-government sentiments. Ultra-religious and anti-government sentiments. Huh. Groypers? Was he talking to Groypers? Isn't it a no-fly zone? Yeah, it is. But to Pam Graham, the problem would be that, I mean, if somebody's like within a couple 100 feet and they just pull a drone out of their backpack and throw it up in the air, I mean, by the time it does something, I don't know. And so they were worried about the handling of the files from the Epstein case, and they were worried about data centers. Do you know who is behind all the data center protests, who's funding it and doing all the stuff for data centers? It's China. It's the Chinese Communist Party that's part of all that. So these guys were technically working with the Chinese Communist Party if they were fighting the data centers. His mommy turned him in. Yeah. Proper told investigators the goal was to jumpstart a revolution in the U.S. Wow. Who calls for a revolution? Communists, Antifa. Those are the people calling for a revolution. Yes. Good mom. Yes, it was a good mom. Data centers. Yeah. Hey, we're up to 88 likes with 244 in the chat. Come on, guys. It only takes a second. Yeah, come on. Hit the like button. Just hit the like button. Hit the like button already. He was interviewed from a hospital where he admitted on an emergency basis due to homicidal ideations. So homicidal ideations means he wants to kill people, not maybe his family. That's crazy. Proper's father and grandmother said he spent most of his time online talking to others. His father told police the 19-year-old had been planning recons with people he met online and been planning to meet up with them over the weekend. Proper's father also said the son had recently obtained camping gear, food, ballistic plates, a new shotgun, rifle, ammunition, magazine, and plate carriers. Agents said Proper spent roughly $3,000 of his graduation money to buy the equipment. There are drone jammers around the White House. Wouldn't work against fiber optic drones. Yeah. Data centers is the new global warming. I think it is. N702 FISA ended. Yeah. Well, it would be amazing. It'd be kind of wild if they said that the whole reason that this, like, hey, look, we need FISA because of this, or if this helter skelter. Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. I hope it's under restraints. Yeah, you and me both, Miss Hacker. Pat Milton reported earlier law enforcement became aware of the threat, concerned that a family member was talking about doing something nefarious in Washington, D.C. Tennessee senator, whom allegedly named as a target, called the threat chilling. I will not let maniacs like this one deter me from celebrating or serving this great nation. I am grateful to law enforcement for keeping us safe, she wrote on X. Kash Patel revealed the existence of the plot early Tuesday. Hey, Lurch Linger, what's up? Thanks for being here. Lady Bama, Alabama, Lady Bama, what's up? Good evening. Finally made it. Thanks for being here. I keep saying Bama, like Lady Bama, but that's like Obama. I don't know why. You're not an Obama person. You're Lady Bama from Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. On June 10th, their partners became aware of a threat to UFC America 250. A multi-state operation ensued. Multiple individuals are now in custody, and the planned attacks have been stopped cold. They stopped them butt cold. It was a serious threat, says Secret Service Deputy Director Matt Quinn. He said he could not provide too many details because it remains an active investigation. They were planning to attack the Freedom 250. There are still suspects at large, and we're going to work until everyone's been identified. The event itself, I am confident in saying, was never at any risk. Oh, never at any risk. Hey, Kofi, what's up, man? For shame, calling her Big Mike. Yeah. Perfect pitch. Mm-hmm. Secret Service Director Sean Curran said in a statement that the agency has worked closely with the FBI throughout this investigation, and their formal comments regarding specifics of the case will be made available in the court filings. Patel praised the FBI, saying that they represented the best of the investigative work and nothing out of the ordinary for this law enforcement team. We are built to detect, respond to, and bring to justice those who threaten the lives of American citizens, particularly during large gatherings like the historic UFC 250 fight. That's exactly what we did here. This plot comes after a gunman was killed by the Secret Service last month after opening fire on a checkpoint near the White House, and in the wake of the April 27th shooting that targeted the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Like, there's a lot of these things. Considering the event, drones might be ignored by the crowd as possible coverage. Problem with drone jammers is they can also swamp other wireless comms, e.g. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cell service streams. Ah, yeah. So far. Yeah, I could. You're right. Can do that. Definitely. All right. Then we got this. The room bursts into laughter when Trump cracks a joke after the FBI arrests 5 in a failed terror plot. So it's to target the capitalist elites. Motive revealed. So we want to do this. Going to find this video of Trump talking about it.
Mr. President, were you briefed on the attack plans for the UFC event at the White House? There was the FBI ordered an attack.
I haven't heard about it, no. But I watched the attack that I watched with the fighters. And he saw it too, by the way. He was sitting back home in his beautiful palace and he was watching that. And they were as good a fights as I've ever seen. Right? The best fight. The best. They were. That last fight was brutal. Wow. And the two last, all of the fights. The two fights. It was all good. It was a great evening. It was very different for the White House, but I wish you could have been there. We built an incredible arena. Dana did a great job. Is there going to be another fight next year? Well, I don't know. I got away with it. That goes 250 years. Maybe in another 50, maybe in 300.
Wow, he's going to be president when it's the 300th. All right. No, stop. And it's just basically the news everywhere talking about this stuff. You know, FBI arrests 5 people in connection with the plot. You know, Fox News, FBI disrupts explosive drone plot. So it's a good thing that the mother called it in. It would be nice if Rumble wasn't constantly freezing up. Yeah, $3,000 for graduation. Somebody close to him is an evil capitalist. Yeah, well, yeah. You know, that's a lot of graduation money. And if you're not blocking cell phones, they could be used to control a drone. Yeah, because they do operate on cell phone signals. A lot of them use cell phones, like the Bluetooth and stuff like that. Cell phone. So yeah, they have a little cell receiver. So, all right. And then on to this next thing that broke today. Next breaking news. So we can just admit that story, you always got to be careful. It's the left is out of control. Because this has to be coming from the left. People talking about capitalists and shit. That's leftists. That's why I don't understand. They're saying, why they threw religious in there? Like, what religion do they have? The religion of aborting babies? Like, I don't get it. This sounds very, very strange. So federal prosecutors in Minnesota announced a conspiracy charges against 15 members of an Antifa cell. That's right. Antifa cell. For conspiring to injure federal officers and solicitation to commit crimes of violence, interstate threats, and more. All right, so I'll do this real quick. Do this. I'll turn up the volume a little. Here's the news report.
I were all together last week. I said that political violence is a national scourge in our times. Today, I can disclose to you further actions by federal law enforcement in combating that violence. Last year, President Trump issued National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, which directed the Department of Justice to prioritize politically motivated violence. To accomplish that mission, the Deputy Attorney General stood up Joint Task Force Vanguard to enforce a national security strategy to investigate, prosecute, and disrupt those who engage in political violence and intimidation. Today, a federal indictment was unsealed, charging 15 defendants with conspiracy to impede or injure federal officers and other charges related to efforts of two Minneapolis-based Antifa groups that violently opposed the enforcement of federal law in our state. The defendants are members and associates of Direct Action Minnesota. They are charged with conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, solicitation to commit a crime of violence, interstate threats, interstate stalking, assault on a federal officer, and destruction of government property. Earlier this morning, agents of Homeland Security Investigations conducted a coordinated law enforcement operation culminating in the arrest of 12 of the 15 defendants. One defendant had already been in custody on other federal charges. 2 defendants remain fugitives at large. Today's charges and arrests reflect a broad federal effort to address organized, lawless behavior which seeks to disrupt the execution of federal law, endanger law enforcement, and importantly, endanger the very communities that these defendants falsely claim to be protecting. Be assured, the Department of Justice and my U.S. Attorney's Office has and will distinguish between lawful protest and criminal conduct.
Oh, yeah, sure.
These defendants have been charged not for what they said, but for what they did. They all joined an agreement, a conspiracy, to interfere with lawful immigration enforcement operations. The conspiracy was not to interfere by their voice, but to do it by force. That's a crime, and it will not be tolerated in the United States. Direct Action Minnesota emphasizes their violent, militant approach to politics and are highly critical of nonviolent, peaceful protests. You see here a Facebook post from one of the defendants, Cameron Kennedy, writing, quote, "We need to become ungovernable." As the name suggests, Direct Action Minnesota is an organization dedicated to direct action against federal law and immigration enforcement. This action is not peaceful, it's obstructive, disruptive, and unlawful. The organization trains its members in the aggressive use of shields against law enforcement, surveillance, operational planning, and rapid mobilization against law enforcement actions. Though investigations are ongoing, what we know now is that Direct Action Minnesota is comprised of members of subgroups. For example, the Black Hat Workers Collective. The Black Hat Workers Collective is a Minneapolis-based Antifa affinity group,
Minnesota,
which advocates, promotes,
anarchists,
and utilizes militant tactics and violence. Here you can see that their Facebook cover page shows as a banner the burning down of the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd precinct. One of the leaders of Direct Action Minnesota, Defendant Kyle Wagner, identifies himself as Antifa, and he doesn't shy away from it.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet show up ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly.
It was very nice of him to basically specifically say that he's talking about committing crimes. He's not talking about peaceful protests. It's very nice of him to do that. You understand, right? I mean, he's like confessing. So if he did anything, all this stuff, if he did anything, this video could be used as part of the conspiracy. Because one more overt act, he's basically telling people to come to commit these crimes. Like, I don't know how it's going to hold up in court. I mean, if I was on the jury, I would vote to convict him. But, after I heard all the evidence, of course, I would make sure the government was held to their standards. Mama raised her son right enough, I guess. Doesn't stop the indoctrination, but they can't totally win them over. Yeah. The ones over that you arrested over the UFC were also anti-AI. It's going to get wild. Yeah, they were against they said that they were stealing all the water. Hey, King of Biltong, what's up, buddy? Great to see you. Yeah, you missed. I did run the ad already today, but I'll say it again. If anybody's interested in any good meats, check out King of Biltong. www.biltongusa.com. Biltongusa.com. Use promo code Jim. Save 10% off the 8-ounce bags. Oof, sorry about that. Not 50. No, 10%. And they have a bunch of other snacks and stuff too. They're really great if you want to check it out. They make, all made in the USA. Good stuff. It's nice that he invited us all to join him. Yeah, it is, right? That he did this, that he made this video. It's great.
What I said was going to happen. This is exactly what I said was going to fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns.
Oh.
Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
Wow.
We're not talking about peaceful protests. His words, not mine. During Operation Metro Surge, Direct Action Minnesota infiltrated and exploited lawful protests to more efficiently carry out its unlawful direct actions, targeting operations involving ICE as well as other federal law enforcement.
Wow. And we did have another donation we had over there on the Rumbles there. We had King of Biltong donated a gifted membership on Rumble, and that gifted membership went to Lynn P, a 9472. Thank you so much. That means, folks, we are now just $81 away from adding a first additional hour to the show, and just $31 away from activating Bellavision. Thank you so much, King of Biltong. Yes, thank you. Nice Essern front tat on his lower neck. Yes. Yes. I just avoided the rumble clap infection, Lucky Lynn. 30-day rash. It'll happen. Now, Bellavision. Well, gotta hit that like 100%. Gotta get there. Hit 100. Go chat. Yeah. I mean, I could put the Bella. Oh my God, where is she? She left. I can put her up for a little bit, for a few minutes, I guess. Just for a few minutes. There she is. Just chilling there.
And as well as other state law enforcement. In order to achieve the ends of the conspiracy, Direct Action Minnesota was highly organized, holding meetings on a regular basis, and engaged in what they called operational security, or OPSEC. The indictment unsealed today includes a focus on 2 days in which Direct Action Minnesota organized and participated in actions against federal and local law enforcement on January 23, 2026, and on March 1st, 2020.
Oh, thank you. CF Rob says, hey, Bella. So thank you, Rob, for the Bella Vision. That means right now, folks, we're just $61 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. So thanks to everybody. Bella Vision's been activated. Thank you. None of my kids or animals are that relaxed. She's actually crying about something right now. She must hear the grandkids outside. She wants to play. But there she is. There's the Bella Vision. Totally activated. We're now 61 away. All right. Yeah.
26. On those days, Direct Action Minnesota members deployed what they called hard and soft blockades against federal law enforcement, as well as against Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies. Direct Action Minnesota shut down operations at the federal Whipple building, a government building just north of the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport and the main hub for several federal agencies. Members of their hard blockade team used vehicles, RV trailers that they would overturn, check hedgehogs, and ice blocks that they would throw at law enforcement to obstruct roads used by law enforcement near the Whipple building in order to impede the movement of law enforcement. Members of their soft blockade team used homemade shields constructed from plastic, wood, and metal to physically resist the efforts of law enforcement and to aggressively break through teams of officers on foot. Direct Action Minnesota members also engaged in what they called commuting tactics, which included identifying, following, surveilling, harassing, and confronting law enforcement officers. Conspiracy members even followed law enforcement officers from locations like the Whipple building, to the officers' homes. For example, as alleged in the indictment on May 4, 2026, defendant Isaac Sant followed federal officers from the Whipple building all the way to Hudson, Wisconsin, where St. Croix County deputies stopped him. Such stalking and other direct actions against law enforcement are criminal, they're un-American, and they'll be met with swift justice. That's why we're here today.
Okay, and then we also just had $5 come in from Lurch Linger. Thank you so much, Lurch Linger, on the Cash App. That means right now we are just $56 away. We're just almost halfway there to adding an additional hour to the show. The first one it could be. Thank you so much. Got a little over an hour left. Thanks to everybody who donated. This crap will continue until our country decides to stop putting up with it. Yeah. You ain't kidding. Reminds me of the scene of Armored Muppets from that Labyrinth movie with David Bowie.
To those who choose to threaten or harm federal officers, we will hold you accountable. We will defend federal officers. We will protect the public. We will enforce the law. I want to thank our partners at Homeland Security Investigations for their outstanding work on this case. And I now ask the Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations here in Minnesota, Michael McCarthy, to provide further illumination for us.
Thank you, U.S. Attorney Rosen, for your steadfast partnership. Good morning. My name is Michael McCarthy, and I am the Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations St. Paul. Today's announcement is the result of a thorough and months-long investigation into a deeply concerning trend: coordinated violence targeting federal law enforcement officers and facilities. These acts were designed to create chaos, disrupt operations, and threaten the safety of our officers and our community. Every day, officers and agents kiss their loved ones goodbye, fully aware of the dangers they face as they risk their lives to protect their communities. Each and every one of us in the law enforcement community does so with the ultimate goal of making it home to our families each night. We are sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers. We swore an oath to protect and serve, and we place the public's well-being above our own safety without hesitation and often without recognition. Make no mistake, officers and agents do not have the luxury of deciding when they should and should not do their job. The law is the law. Over the past several months, we have seen organized groups deliberately plan and carry out criminal acts, including assaults, threats, destruction of government property, and efforts to obstruct federal officers. Much of the recent civil unrest in the metro area has been linked to anti-ICE demonstrations. Let me be clear. Peaceful protest is a protected right and a cornerstone of our democracy. We respect and defend that right. However, there's a clear line that cannot be crossed. When protest turns into rioting, violence, or criminal activity, it becomes unlawful and it will not be tolerated. Unfortunately, some groups have crossed that line. Working closely with the U.S. Attorney's Office, our investigation uncovered extensive planning, material support, and coordinated attacks against federal personnel and facilities. Our teams have worked tirelessly, conducting surveillance, reviewing camera footage, and analyzing large volumes of information to identify those responsible. I want to thank all the agents and staff whose dedication and professionalism made these indictments possible. Our message is clear. You may not agree with the laws. You may protest the laws, but you must follow the laws or face the consequences. It is not optional. We will enforce the law. Any attempt to undermine it through violence or intimidation will be met with decisive action. Our primary responsibility is to ensure the safety of our officers and the broader community. Today's arrests are an important milestone, but this is not the finish line. HSI and our partners remain committed to identifying, investigating, and bringing to justice anyone who promotes or engages in violence against law enforcement or our communities. Again, I thank the U.S. Attorney's Office for their partnership. Together, we are committed to protecting our officers, our communities, and the rule of law.
That's very, very, very interesting. You know, what's going on there. Minnesota Antifa member Kyle Wagner, who uses the alias Chaos, is among those federally charged. This is the guy right here. We saw this guy, this clown. Like, here's his.
Get the message out. They fucked up. Okay. Go.
You can see he's got the thing on his neck with the 3 arrow thing. That's the Antifa thing. What is wrong with you, Bella? What are you doing? I know you don't got to go out. I just had you out before the show started. So that's the guy. These are the 15 members of Direct Action Cell who have been charged. Antifa accounts online are freaking out after their comments were raided. All defendants use secret aliases. Wow. Isaac and Amun Sant, a.k.a. Isaac Dado, Ike. Emmett James Doyle, a.k.a. Plotnovic. Cameron Kennedy, Callum Robinette, Eric Davis, Brian Stillwell, Alpin, Tiny, Kyle Wagner, Chaos, Hannah Margaret Vanderwater Davis, what the hell, a.k.a. Gabriel Vanderwater, Noob. Or Treasure K. Thornton, Scott Shotzi, Nathan Juo Kim, Moonbear, Alex Stewart, Douglas Misterick. Yeah. Wow. This is crazy. Natasha Rakovich, William Morgan, and Dustin Bussell. Wow. A news alert. A legal observer's house was raided just minutes ago in South Minneapolis by ICE. One of our comrades is arrested and all their electronics were confiscated. Please alert all your groups. I wonder if this, didn't we see, remember you got the story the other day, like just the other day, we saw a story. The guy said that they had infiltrated the groups that were doing all this stuff and that they gave it, and he was going to wait to release it until he saw what happens. I wonder if this was part of it, that they infiltrated all these communications and stuff. I wonder if that's what, this is part of that. I wonder. Yes. Feliz Navidad. Bum, 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 bum. Feliz Navidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Bella wants to go out. Take her out. I'll sing for the people in Spanish until you come back. Oh, that's what I just did. She doesn't want to go out. She would. The three arrows is the Iron Front, social democrat protest group from the 30s, part of the adjacent to Antifa OMG posted their undercover today. Cam Higbee infiltrated their groups. I'm still behind. Pretty good and proper. Okay. Labyrinth was dope. Yeah, it was a good movie. I really liked the three, what was it? They were like crystal balls that the guy, like David Bowie was doing this, but it wasn't David Bowie. There was actually another guy with his arm there doing it because they couldn't get David Bowie to figure out how to do it. Cam Higbee, great guy. He's been infiltrating all these groups. Conspiracy charges, conspired solicitation. Yes, get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Federal prosecutors charged 15 people with impeding agents during the immigration crackdown. St. Paul, Minnesota, federal prosecutors tried these people. 12 people were arrested. 2 remain at large. 1 was already in custody. Dozens of protesters gathered to denounce it. The indictment comes as the Trump administration continues to target rioters associated with Antifa, which has been labeled a domestic terrorist group. See, this is some crazy leftist group over here with this stuff, saying this stuff. Some had identified as Antifa. Their actions include stalking, throwing blocks of ice at vehicles, and setting up blockades. Defendants were each charged with conspiracy to injure a federal officer. Oh. Conspiracy began in January, shortly after the Trump administration launched sweeping immigration crackdowns, which everyone said, yeah, do it. Get them. Get them all. They'll be held accountable. Justice is coming. Offices of the scumbag Walls and the Antifa guy, Ellison, because he says he is Antifa, did not respond to email messages asking questions about it. So go figure. 15 charged with impeding federal officers.
Looking for affordable dental care?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking for affordable dental care, but I don't know if you guys have what I need. Federal prosecutors on Tuesday announced charges against 15 people who are accused of impeding federal agents during Trump's crackdown called Metro Surge. Let's see.
Experience what affordable dental care can look like at Pureview Health Center, your local healthcare center.
We're following breaking news at this hour. The Trump administration now saying it will charge 15 people with impeding ICE agents in Minnesota. I'm Dale Walters in Washington. You're watching Scripps News on the scene. This incident dating back to earlier this year, the administration saying those citizens were blocking the roads and the roads going in and out of the federal facilities and tracking ICE vehicles and officers using databases and chats. Protests erupted after agents shot and killed 2 American citizens, Alex Preddy and Miss Good. It happened at the Whipple Federal Building in Minneapolis, tracking ICE vehicles using databases.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Federal prosecutors charged 15 people with impeding agents during the Minnesota immigration crackdown. I mean, am I the only one that's saying that this just need more of this? What's up, B-Hops? Thanks for being here. Tim Wallace is probably a problem until 1/4/2027. My goodness, that is so long. Yes. Well, maybe not. You remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Who do you do? What do you do? Remind me of the babe. What's it say? Catch this. Will not give allies. Oh, I'll look at that. I know they stopped it all. The access to everyone. So maybe we'll get to that in a second. Why not? All right. We got this story, which someone brought to my attention, which I don't know. This could be involved with something. Minnesota thinks it's a socialist country. Lock them up, traitors. Yes, Ray. Lock them all up. Lock them all up. All of them. Manhunt underway after 2 people shot inside a Wilmington hospital in Delaware. So Wilmington, Delaware hospital. 2 people were shot inside a Wilmington, Delaware hospital on Tuesday afternoon. The suspect is currently at large. According to reports, the unidentified shooter is a hospital employee who wounded 2 coworkers. 2 people were shot as the campus remains on lockdown. Christiana Care said in a statement the police are searching for a possible active shooter at the hospital. Chopper 3 was over the scene where a large police presence was seen. People were being evacuated. The chief administrator said that officers were dispatched for a shooting at 3:30 p.m. They declined to comment on whether the 2 people were shot were employees or the shooter, saying it's an active investigation. 2 people have been shot inside Wilmington Hospital. So let's see.
Breaking news tonight from Delaware. The video coming in this evening after a shooting at Wilmington Hospital. 2 people hit. Madeline Wright from our station, CBS News Philadelphia, joins us now. Madeline, good evening to you. What more have you learned?
Tony, this hospital here in Wilmington is currently on lockdown as police search for a person who shot 2 people inside. Police received a call at 3:30 this afternoon and arrived quickly on the scene for a possible active shooter situation. Video shows teams of officers rushing into the hospital. Staff members were safely evacuated from the hospital with their hands raised as police worked to secure the scene inside. In a statement, a hospital spokesperson said they are working closely with law enforcement, and their priority remains the safety and well-being of everyone on our campus and the continuity of care for our patients. The identity of those 2 victims and their conditions are unknown at this time. Police continue searching for the suspect in this shooting. Tony?
Madeline, thank you very much.
Wow. Delaware Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester weighed in. I have been briefed on a reported shooting. I'm sure her answer is going to be more gun control. So the president's pick for Georgia governor primary running behind his Senate primary pick holding a small lead. We're going to see. We're going to see how it works with all this stuff. We're going to see how it works. And we got this story. It says the Trump administration will not give G7 allies access to Anthropic's most advanced AI models. Trump administration will not grant exceptions allowing foreign nationals or allied countries from the G7 to access Anthropic's most advanced artificial intelligence models following a new U.S. export restrictions imposed last week, according to a report from the New York Post. The issue surfaced at the G7 summit in Avion-les-Bains in France. La Beaume in France. What, you have to go outside? Seriously? All right. I guess I have to take this dog out. I apologize. This is crazy. Bella has gone on high alert. She's up here. She's like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to take her out. I guess I don't know. Like, I can't believe it. Let's see which one here. Which is the good one here? No, that's not the one I was looking for. Oh, thank you. Sorry, everybody. Oof. Yep, she did have to pee. There was somebody walking their dog out there, so she was like, all like, sorry, did I miss anything? I can't believe Jim didn't let me sing while Bella is handling her business. You guys missed out on Celestial Voice. I don't know how that would work. I don't know. Is that Bella's playroom? Oh, yeah. No, that's all my grandkids' toys. Yeah. She has lots of fun. So, all right, let's get back to the stories. Give the G7 nothing for the great help from the Iran conflict. That's right. They didn't help us with nothing, so they get nothing. That's what Trump needs to tell them is, I don't know you, so I don't owe you. That's what Trump needs to say. I think it's for the grandkids. Yeah, it's all for the grandkids. It would be funny if it was for Bella. Anything with Jack Posobiec is good. All right, take care. I'll see you later. Bella wags tails. It's all good. Does it have slide outs? Oh, you're talking about the mobile home. Okay. Pay up or shut up. Yes. Okay. Whatever that means. So the issue emerged at the summit, and Keir Starmer sought to carve out that would restore the Brits' access to mythos and fable models. The request came after the United States implemented controls barring access to those units. No, what happened in Delaware? The shooting happened. That's all we have. That's all the information we have. I gave the information we had. Urine is the strongest thing in the world. Not even an elephant can hold it back. Yes. So administration official told the New York Post that providing an exemption to another country would be inconsistent with the purpose of the restrictions. Yeah. Restrictions were announced after concerns raised by the Commerce Department regarding national security risks. According to the company, officials cited a potential jailbreak vulnerability that could allow the models to identify software weaknesses. Yeah. Talking about the NATO members, pay up or shut up. Oh, I thought you were talking about the chat. I was like, yeah, pay up. I can't even get them to hit the like button. You know what I mean? It's like so hard. I don't know why it's so hard for people to hit the like button. It's like crazy, Like only 109 likes and 175 people watching. I mean, we had 300 people here at one point. You would think we would have had 300 likes. Sounds like an employee spat, gunman at the hospital. Yeah, we'll see what it is. I don't know. It's just it popped up. So unfortunately, no, but it runs and in good shape and cheap for someone who really wants to talk about. Okay. At least one dead. I think it was an employee who had been terminated. Anthropic responded by disabling access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 worldwide, saying it was unable to limit access solely to users located within the United States. The company disputed the government's assessment of the issue. We disagree with the finding of a narrow potential jailbreak should be cause for recalling a commercial model. Well, that's not how the government works. The government could come along and take everything from you. They could actually do that. They could say, no, this model, we need it. It's ours now. You can't have it. The closer you look at the bathroom, the more you almost pee your pants. Despite the current restrictions, discussions between the White House and Anthropic are continuing. Senior White House officials say negotiations could involve Anthropic's chief, Dario Amodei. We can't have frontier models running amok. It's all about working things through with Dario. Dispute follows months of tension between Anthropic and the federal government. Earlier this month, the company was placed on a supply chain blacklist after declining to permit the military use of its AI systems for domestic surveillance. This is a lie. Human events. That's not what it was. They wanted the government to basically let them control what they could use it for. So that's a lie. Yeah, so that's interesting. All right. On to the next story. Trump to Israel. He says, let the Al-Qaeda guy handle Hezbollah. Yeah, Trump says, let the guy the guy in Syria. He's like, let them take care of it. This guy will take care of it for us. He owes us. Can you believe that? Can you believe that Trump would say that? That's crazy, ain't it? Let this guy handle it. That's kind of nuts to me. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara attends a press conference in Berlin. Yeah, let this guy take care of it. Why do I have the feeling that that guy's like CIA? I just have that feeling that he's CIA. Britain showed us who they are, and when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's right. More news along the lines of my last post regarding credible reports that the Trump administration has agreed with Iran that the United States will shield Hezbollah from Israel. What? Fox News reports that Trump is publicly rebuking Bibi Netanyahu over the war with Hezbollah. Astonishingly, Trump added that Israel should stand aside and let Syria take the lead against Hezbollah. A reminder, Syria is... What? No, I'm not paying you. Fuck you. Trump says Israeli fighting Hezbollah is too long. Too many people being killed. Suggests Syria take over the fight. You don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody because there's a lot of people in those apartment houses and they're not all Hezbollah, Trump said. That's true. It's true. I suggest that Israel let Syria take care of Hezbollah. To be honest with you, I think they do a better job than you're doing. Wow. If Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it. And I didn't like Syria. I didn't like where 2 hours before we're signing the agreement, that there was an attack in Lebanon, in Beirut. It wasn't like in the southern side, and it was in Beirut. I did not like that. I let them know that. I didn't like it, not at all. But I think that Syria, he's pulled that country together amazingly quickly. He's very capable. And he's been very good for me. He's protected everything that I've asked for, he's done. And if Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
Wow. How does Syria take care of Hezbollah? Well, they would let these Syrian freedom fighters, or whatever you want to call them, go in there and clean them out, the neighbor. Problem is, though, that would basically turn into like a factional war, because I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think Hezbollah is a Shia terrorist organization, and I believe this guy who's the president of Syria is formerly of Al-Qaeda, which was a Sunni terrorist organization. So you would basically have, a Shia Sunni war breaking out. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a good. Hello, everyone. Trump must be anti-Semitic. Must be. He added the attacks put a negative light on a big deal with Iran and warned that Netanyahu has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. The Daesh. Yeah, I think the guy's Daesh or whatever. Daesh, something. Yeah. I don't like that, and I let him know. And he's talking about the Sunday strikes, which he calls too much. Iran has said that Israel's ending its attack in Lebanon is a condition of any agreement to end a 3.5-month war. Yes, Jim, but even though they hate each other, they both hate Jews more. Here's the thing. I don't know, all right, but from what I'm seeing and what I have a gut feeling of is you called Sunni Daesh and Shia Hezbollah. I think so, right? Isn't that true? Is that not true? But from everything I seen, I think this guy that's in charge of Syria, I think he is part of the CIA. Like, I think he's like a CIA dude or an MI6 dude. Like, this is the guy that the CIA was giving weapons to in Syria. This is the guy. You know, remember the movie 13 Hours when they were in Libya and they were getting all Gaddafi's weapons after Hillary Clinton said we came, we saw, he died. That's who they were giving the weapons to, is this guy. You know, that's who the Obama administration was giving the weapons to, was this guy. So this guy's got connections with the CIA. That's all. That's all I'll say. I don't know. 2 failures don't make a success. Yes, the CIA even trained the Taliban. Yeah. Muslims stick together against the infidels. It seems like this guy in charge of Syria is playing really nice with Israel too. Like he's talking about signing the Abraham Accords. I don't know. Defund the CIA. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Trump reiterated that the support the United States has provided to Israel. Without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel. Trump said he has a great relationship with Bibi Netanyahu. However, Netanyahu has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Is this another video? It is another video. Wow.
Are you frustrated with Netanyahu, sir?
No, we had a great relationship. We're talking about some end details. I didn't like that he did an attack based on there's a very minor little thing with some drones that were released, and he ends up doing I saw that attack. I saw where that bomb went. Did you see what happened? That was a vicious, that was too much. You know, you can do too much also. But we've had a very effective relationship. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a great country. It was a country where you had professors, doctors, lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. Now it's terrible. I would say of all countries, they've been treated the worst. And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them. So, no, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal, and that's the deal with Iran. So when you ask me about Bibi, an unbelievable relationship. But Israel would have been blown up a long time ago had I not gotten involved.
Wow, that's crazy. JJ says, how about we just don't hate Israel, hate what they're doing, but sort of understand what they feel they need to do? I mean, they went through an awful lot and are in between 57 hostile countries. Yeah, I don't hate Israel. I don't hate Israel. I mean, you could just say like, they just need to be a little more careful, I think. Tasmanian Rebel, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Says, send all the Syrians back to Syria. They know how to run smoke shops now. There you go. That would be great, right? They would have all the hookahs running. Uh-huh. Lurch Slinger says the CIA used the same smellies to move cash out of the U.S. Really? Wow. America First says, Israel seems to not care about civilians. They want to win at all costs. It's insane that the Muslims are in 50-some countries, occupy a lot of land, are blessed with oil, but they don't want the Jews to have a tiny piece of land to call home. That is strange. Maybe they just want to survive. Yes. I'm sure the Israelis want to survive. Tuesday's examples are the latest example of Trump's frustration with Netanyahu. Troops are expected to stay in Lebanon, Israeli officials said Monday, because Trump's agreement does not bind us, but Iran's foreign ministry says that any Israeli forces remaining in the country would constitute a violation of the fledgling deal. Collins won the GA Senate primary, according to 8 people. Good. That's who Trump picked, right? Collins. That was Trump's pick. Right? I believe that was Trump's pick. Why is my phone not charging? In 2005 to help protest Muslims. Yes. Okay. Wow. This is Trump says Syria is better than Israel at fighting Hezbollah. I don't know. I suggest suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. I'm not happy with the way Israel's handled themselves. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. So yeah. So I don't know. I mean, my question would be: Did the guy in Syria say he would take care of it? Did he say, "I'll take care of this for you. I owe you," or something like that? And that would be my question. Syria should handle Hezbollah in Lebanon instead of Israel. I'm not happy with how Israel has fought Hezbollah. All right. On to the next story here, folks. On to the next story. Going to keep it moving. Why should the Jews and Kurds be the only race without a place to call home? Yeah, I mean, there's another group of people. I want you to remember the same people, the same globalist people that don't want the Kurds or the Jews to have a place to call home. Also don't want white people to have a place to call home. That's why they're trying to change every country in Europe, Italy, Spain, France, Britain, Sweden, Switzerland, you name it. They want all the countries to change, to not be white anymore. Why? Why shouldn't Italy be a home to Italians? Why shouldn't Germany be a home to the Germans? Why shouldn't France be a home to the French and the UK be home to the British? Ireland to the Irish? America to Americans, see? But no, they don't want that. Governor race not decided. Perez back 9 points behind, but gap closing. His opponent dumped 100 million. The Jews do have a place to call home. It's Israel. Yeah, they do right now. They do. So anyway, Jeffrey Epstein, this is news. All right. So I don't know what I'm covering because they're saying new evidence. New evidence has been released that supports the fact that Jeffrey Epstein committed slime. Liberal progressives want the end of Western civilization. Gary Geets coming in hot. So Epstein tried to kill himself multiple times in jail. Several nooses found in his cell. Well, maybe he's just a racist. Maybe he was creating these nooses as threats, because I've been told that anyone who creates a noose, that's a hate crime just for creating one. If anyone sees a noose, it's a hate crime. That it'll cause, many FBI agents to come rushing there to investigate. Disgraced financier and child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein tried to end his life at least 3 times before his successful attempt. Why are we just hearing about this now? And his cell was found strewn with nooses after his 2019 death, according to a new investigation. What? Ex-New York cop and convicted murderer Nicholas Tartaglione, the guy who was arrested and murdered a bunch of people by strangling them. Who briefly shared a cell with Epstein at the MCC, told the New York Times that he was point blank asked how to make a noose. So this is all coming from this guy. You have a noose hanging in your living room. This is BS. Make up smarter lies. Yeah. To me, this is all bullshit, but hey, I'm just reading you the story. Globalism stop, man. That's, it's crazy. Epstein had just returned to his cell after a judge denied him bail. It was his 13th day in custody. Not buying it. The old story didn't work, so they're changing it. Yes. Oh, I know. That was make up smarter lies. I know. Over the next few days, Tartaglione said he's twice witnessed Epstein making preparations to kill himself. Well, if this is the guy that they paid to strangle Epstein and kill him, why wouldn't he come up with this stuff? In one instance, he recalled Epstein. So this is all coming from the guy who murdered people by strangling them. He woke up to find Epstein looking suspicious in the darkened cell before finding a noose under his mattress. They're going to show a picture of Tartaglione. Yeah, here's this guy. Yeah, this is definitely not the guy that killed Epstein, if he's dead. Tartaglione told the outlet that he reported both attempts to jail guards, but they laughed him off. His account, however, was backed up by another inmate, Peter Bright, who recalled Tartaglione telling him about the previous attempts. So this is what's known as jailhouse snitches. So they're not trustworthy at all. Why would he have all this stuff in his cell, all these things, if he's on suicide watch? None of this makes sense. Evidence photo from his cell shows heaps of sheets that he was not supposed to have and multiple nooses and straps of fabric. None of this makes any sense. Trump was a friend with Epstein until he found out what Epstein was doing and got him arrested. Yes. What's it say? 60% of results in. Rick Jackson, 54%. To Burt Jones. Wow. Who did Trump pick? Burt Jones or Rick? Which one did Trump pick? Less than 3 weeks before Epstein was found dead, Tartaglione found him motionless on the floor with an orange fabric draped around his neck. This is nonsense. Wouldn't the guards have noticed? You would think, unless the guards were in on it. The pedophile had initially claimed the corrections officers that his cellmate tried to kill him. An internal prison investigation cleared Tartaglione. That does not look like Epstein. That does not look like Epstein. That does not look like Epstein. When Epstein was eventually found dead on the morning of August 10th, his cell was strewn with various linens, which he was not allowed to have, including several nooses. Like, they're just reporting. Why are they reporting? The eyebrows look dyed. Yeah, the eyebrows look dyed. It's crazy. Looks like a mask. Yeah. I have noticed American Democrats are pissed, but they don't waste time trolling conservative channels. But the trolls are most likely unemployed Canadians. Yes. Doesn't look like Epstein. What did he look like before he started decomposing? That could be it. Oh. The ears look wrong to me. And that ligature was not from a sheet. Check the hairline. Yeah. Ligature mark was not made from a sheet. Yeah. He has gray eyebrows, not rusty brown. Could it be the light? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I used to hang out in several Canadian channels. They talked about how they wanted the Dems back in power so Canadians can continue their freebies from the U.S. The ears give it away. Yeah. This is new evidence points to suicide and Epstein death. This new evidence is just this guy's comments and stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Several people who interacted with him became concerned about his mental health. Uh-huh. So while photographs from Epstein's autopsy contained findings that some experts describe as unusual or difficult to interpret, several pathologists said the injuries documented could still be consistent with suicide by hanging. Yeah, I said could, maybe, but not likely. They were opposing ICU in Somalia Islamic Court Union. Tells Sin his state needs to math faster. Oklahoma is embarrassing them. They both embarrassed DC. Oh, that's the Alabama one? Okay. Smart Canadians low. Yeah, that's right. So there was another part of this, though, that this one was the one that reports says Epstein was obsessed with taking down Trump, digging hopelessly for dirt before suicide. 62% of the votes counted. Rick Jackson, 257. Burt Jones, 217. So he's closing the gap, right? He's closing the gap. He's now just 40,000 behind. He was 50,000 behind earlier. What is this? Gary Rhodes says, did they say not likely? I thought they said not likely. I didn't think they said likely. I thought they said not likely. They said not likely, but possible, I believe. Trump took down Epstein. Yeah, wow, that's why they say Trump has mentioned a lot of these files. Yeah, because Epstein was constantly looking for dirt on Trump, trying to get something on him. He hated him because Trump turned him in. Basically got him busted. Convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein spent the final weeks obsessing over Donald Trump, President Trump, trying to uncover damaging information that can help him cut a deal, according to a new report. Fulton County will embarrass Georgia again. Yeah, when someone is dead from a murder or suicide, they usually don't let you see the body because one doesn't look the same, and it usually can be made to look like they can't be made to look like before they died. Then why did they bring people in to identify the body? Kemp and Trump endorse Jones, and he's 8% down. Wow. Despite the disgraced financier's apparent fixation, he failed to come up with anything of value involving Trump. After his arrest on federal sex trafficking charges, Epstein and his legal team explored whether he could provide information on other high-profile figures in hopes of securing leniency. During lengthy meetings with attorneys inside federal lockup, Epstein frequently filled legal pads with rambling notes about Trump, who was serving in his first term in the White House. Among the scattered entries were insults aimed at the president, including Trump as a total con artist, smoke and mirrors, never had money. Wow. Bizarre notes appear to reveal frustration more than any bombshell. Epstein also complained extensively about his own conditions behind bars. In one note, he lamented that challenges faced by a wealthy pedophile in jail, claiming he was being denied phone calls and visits. Those operating Epstein were attacking Trump. Yes. Epstein was too obsessed with Trump. Trump must have been born enchanted or something because people get so obsessed over him. He griped that it's impossible to mount a defense because of constant noise coming from the special housing unit at the now closed MCC. Epstein also alleged that guards would have ignored any attack against him. He claimed they told his cellmate, former New York police officer, convicted murderer Nicholas Tartaglione, that if he beats the shit out of me, they wouldn't file a report. Epstein was found in his jail cell in August of 2019. Investigators discovered a noose and materials used to make the stuff scattered across the floor. Trump and Epstein moved into some of the same social circles in the 80s and 90s. Flight logs subpoenaed during the investigation showed the future president flew aboard Epstein's private plane at least 7 times between 93 and 97. There was no evidence he ever visited Epstein's private island. I thought what I saw is Trump was on the plane once or twice, 7 times. All Epstein's problems were because Trump going back 20 years. Yeah. Yep. The relationship soured after a dispute over a Palm Beach real estate deal in 2004. Trump later said he kicked him out. It was way before 2004 that he was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. This is bullshit. Following his 2019 arrest, Trump said he'd not spoken to him in roughly 15 years and that he was not a fan. It later emerged that Trump himself had alerted authorities about Epstein's improper conduct, further distancing them from the convicted predator. So Trump alerted authorities about his inappropriate conduct. When was that? Before 2004. Grok said that Epstein's brother Mark, his only surviving immediate family member next of kin, claimed and identified the body. Well, Epstein made multiple nooses before committing suicide. Did he? Did he know? Anyway, where did he get all this material to make the nooses? If he's on suicide watch, he should have only had one. He shouldn't even have been wearing a regular thing. It should have been like what's called like a turtle suit or something like that to keep him from being able to do this stuff. Right? This doesn't make a lot of sense. None of this stuff. All right. And then Gavin NewScum, the DOJ began the investigations under NewScum under the Biden administration. Try finding a comment thread that doesn't have Trump within 15 comments. Any topic, gardening, knitting, he's there. Yeah, people are obsessed over it. That's right. NewScum and his scummy wife stole a bunch of money, and they've been under investigation for a long time. They don't let you keep 20, 30 jumpsuits in your cell, right? Turtle or paper. That's right. A turtle suit or paper. That's what you got. Hold on. I got to grab a drink. 1 second. You think those were torn up sheets? No, they were orange. Those are orange jumpsuits. The sheets are not orange. The sheets are white. You know, they don't let you keep all that stuff. I don't think anyway. Not that I know of. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Where is this at? Why do I not see this? Hold on. I'm sorry. Wow. That's just crazy. So NewScum made a series of sensational claims on Monday accusing President Trump and the Justice Department of acting on Trump's behalf to go after him. Wow. Trump was the only person that would give any information to the FBI on Epstein. That's true. Saw a picture of a guard carrying sheets. They were orange. At least it said linens. Yeah, that linens. They could have just been talking about the clothes, like linens as in clothes, whatever. So I don't know. I just think they wear orange jumpsuits. I don't know why the sheets would be orange. And so they're accusing Trump of personally targeting him and his wife for no reason. According to a Trump official, the investigation began under the Biden-Harris administration involving corrupt governor and his wife. It started under Biden, and we all know that Biden was the one targeting his political enemies. Was he afraid of Gavin? Newsom's government is under a new investigation launched into election fraud. Well, this has nothing to do with this investigation that's going on of Gavin Newscum, which has to do with all the money missing. Wow. Democrat governor griped that investigation of him and first partner, Jennifer Seibel, who was reportedly referred to investigations involving his staff and her taxes. Newsom's first came under investigation from the DOJ when the previous Democrat administration was in office. Oh, wow. The Biden administration was investigating NewScum. What do you know? That's very interesting. Important context, NewScum's former chief of staff and Democrat gubernatorial candidate Becerra pleaded guilty in May. Advisor to Becerra pleaded guilty in May to corruption-related charges. The investigation into Gavin's political money started in 2022. Right here, these people. Dana Williamson finally admitted she committed fraud involving political money she had access to from 2022-24. Guess when she started working as Gavin's chief of staff? Did she stop her fraud when she became the most powerful staffer to the governor? No.
The U.S. District Attorney's Office in the Central District has been pressing the line prosecutors to come up with a case against Gavin Newsom.
Oh, to come up with a case against Gavin Newsom. Really? What's this man dressed as a woman trying to tell us? Speaker Johnson said Trump was an FBI informant, but Caroline said it wasn't true. What's that all about? Maybe Caroline doesn't have that information. Maybe it's in the, the private Epstein files.
The U.S. District Attorney.
I don't believe you, lady. Investigation started 3 years ago, but Trump was, no one's above the law. This appears to be tied to whistleblowers in the Eastern District of California. Former chief of staff has been active for roughly a year as of mid-2026, originating from whistleblower tips in California Federal District. The ties to November 2025 from Williamson goes back to a probe that began more than 3 years earlier, pre-2025, under the prior administration, and led to Williamson's guilty plea on some counts. NewScum's office said that they learned of it a year before the indictment and placed her on leave. Investigators reportedly saw it, but did not get info on NewScum from her. Very interesting. Very interesting. Reality never inhibits the demon rats. Justice is for sale. NewScum pontificated grandiosely in a video he posted on June 15th. He whined about the DOJ investigation and now extends to his wife, who over the years has been involved in multiple scandals. 67% of the votes counted. Rick Jackson at 53.8, Burt Jones at 46.3. So now it's 40,000, or was 50, still 40, basically like 40,000. It's not, he's not making up enough ground. I don't think he's making up enough ground. Have they called it yet? Newsom did not in the video describe any actual charges against him or his wife, which seems to support the criticism that he doesn't have any good defense against them. Instead, Newsom rambled on with self-righteous assertions of integrity, emotional condemnations. Down to 7.2 puts behind, no call. Today, my wife and I joined the Trump hit list. This guy is such a fucking liar.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Trish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz.
All those people you just mentioned have broken the law. Nobody's above the law, remember? He failed to mention the investigation started under Biden. Yeah. What a piece of shit. You ain't kidding. All those people broke the law, Gavin. I mean, nobody's above the law, remember? How many times do I have to hear nobody's above the law? Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. Jesus.
And a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly joined that list. After calling for my arrest last year, Donald Trump directed his Department of Justice to investigate me. And just in the last week, I've learned that his campaign has reached my own home. To get me, he's coming after my wife, Jen, a public servant, a woman who's dedicated her life to supporting women and girls. Someone
Stealing money.
who has done nothing.
Everything your wife has done is to steal money, dude. You're a fucking liar. Where's the money? Where's the money for the hearing aids and all the other shit she was supposed to do? Huh? Or the diapers? It's all things giving money where they can skim money off the top. Everything you demon rats do is to steal. Steal, steal, steal. Yeah, no one said a damn thing when they were raiding Mar-a-Lago. That's right.
Wrong other than having the temerity to advocate for what she believes in. If they can't intimidate me, they'll go after the mother of our children. Donald Trump picked the wrong target. We have nothing to hide. His political operatives can take every record and read every page, but they'll be looking in the wrong place. Because if they really want to find corruption, look no further than 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
All right, you go pound sand. All right. California Governor Gavin NewScum fumes as he announces he's under federal investigation, which is the video we just saw. So yeah, but this has been going on. It says, however, NewScum said federal agents have contacted people and organizations close to him and his wife. Recall that his former chief of staff was indicted on federal wire charges last year. Yeah. 70% of votes counted. Rick Jackson, 53.6. Burt Jackson, 46.5. So 250 to 288. So now it's down to 38,000 votes, roughly. Oklahoma Senate won by President Trump endorsed Kevin Hearn. Well, that's good. I guess we don't go after criminals anymore if they're mothers. Yeah, you don't. So, a source familiar says there are several investigations going on relating to Newsom. Told they're focused on his wife's taxes and his chief of staff. Now it's down to 7%, down to 6.9. Lead in Georgia. Okay. So he isn't coming after me. He's coming after my wife. So, all right. We got this story, but we talked about when Minnesota arrested all those, indicted those people. Well, the Antifa supporters have gathered to attack the Warren Burger federal courthouse to jailbreak their comrades who were federally indicted and had their first court hearing inside. This is what's going on, and this is what we have the Insurrection Act for right here.
Fuck you! You fucking fascists! Fuck you!
Start arresting them. Start grabbing them and beating them. Like, this is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous. No, as soon as they come up and touch you, they come running up on you to grab the door or anything, put them on the ground and arrest them. Charge them. Mace, baby. Bump, 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 ba-da-dum, bump. Watch what he does to that lady. Oh, okay. Let me rewind a little bit.
Fuck you! Fuck you! You fucking fascist Nazi fucks! Is that what the Department of Justice is
Somebody's fucking head. They fucking threw this at people's heads. They fucking hit right there.
They threw this at people's heads. They threw this at people's heads. You're lucky. If it was me, I would have hit you in the head with a fucking billy club. Like a billy club. A billy club. That's what I would have hit you in the head with. Let me see here. terrorists are continuing to riot outside the courthouse following the arrest of the 15 Antifa people. Like, all these people doing this are basically the same.
We'll never be defeated. The people united. We'll never be defeated.
Wow. Peaceful protesters. Peaceful protesters. Wow. Peaceful protesters. That's crazy. See, water cans would be nice. Federal prosecutors have charged 15 people. They conspired to violently do that. We saw that. Rioters attempt that. We saw this one. This one. Was this it? That's all there is. Just these two short videos, huh? That's it, huh? Same stuff. One woman had to be rushed to the hospital. Let's see. Oh, here's. People will never learn. They will never learn. Wow, that's crazy. That's nuts. I can't believe it. That's crazy. That's nuts. Can't believe it. What is going on in this world? That's crazy. That's just nuts. Well, yeah, 56 for another hour. I'm retired, no retirement here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for the evening. I don't think we're gonna make it. And I don't want to get started on like another story or anything like that. I don't think we're gonna make it. We're still 56 away. We're already past the goal time. So I think I'm gonna send everybody I think we're gonna send everybody over to see Patrick over on FFS, and I think I'll jump on with him. And so if you want to continue watching Jim, go over by FFS and watch Patrick. And then I don't know, on Rumble, I don't see any I don't see anybody really live on Rumble where I was going to send people to. So it might have to be Tim Pool, unless someone could figure something else out. So everybody come back tomorrow. Who's Patrick? Oh, not, I was going to send you to Patrick Melton. But then maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're going somewhere. Wherever I send you, I'll be there.